When I was 16 and my brother, Tyler, was 19, our parents got divorced. It was extremely messy. They fought each other constantly in and out of courtroom, and their favorite weapon against each other is me. Tyler was already away for college 3 hours drive away, so his dorm and then apartment was my favorite place to run away to whenever I can get away from it all. Before the divorce we weren't particularly close, but now we're about as close as brothers can be. He could have just turned a blind eye on me, but he didn't, and I owe him a hell of a lot for that. It's been 5 years since then. Both our parents have remarried, and we now have several step and half siblings from both sides that we never met, all younger. I didn't have anything against them personally, but Tyler and I prefer to keep our distance away from the drama. Our parents, however, still push us, mostly me, to be all buddy-buddy with their new kids. Maybe they still want to use me as a one-upping tool against each other. Like they're on a race to get us to act as a big brothers to their kids. I don't know for sure, all I know is I'm not interested. Again, I didn't have anything against them personally before all this. I'm about to graduate college soon, and Tyler wanted to take me and a couple of friends along for a cross-country road trip to celebrate. I go to his old college while he got a job in the city after he graduated. We didn't think it was possible to do anything like that with how things had been for the past 2 years, so I'm super excited for that. We've been preparing things for a while, just so we don't run into problems later, and I've been documenting things mainly through Instagram story. I didn't realize one of our step-siblings already followed me before I set my account on private a couple of years back. Words got around, and now everyone started demanding we take our steps and halves with us, even changing the trip to make it more kid-friendly. It's all kinds of absurd and entitled, so I admit I lost my temper by the 5th time I was called about being a good brother. It was my mom's oldest stepdaughter, 18, and she has been the most insistent out of everyone. I yelled at her that the only one who gets to call me a brother is Tyler, and she and the rest of her dad's spawn are less than strangers to me. I went about as well as you'd imagine. Tyler and my friends thought it was both hilarious and long overdue. Everyone else thinks I'm an idiot. Am I? Okay. Family drama aside, you are 2 adults, your brother and yourself, who have planned a trip with your friends. Who in the world just tries to invite themselves on someone else's trip? If you were minors I could see the parents trying to force something and maybe being in control, but y'all are 2 adults who have planned a vacation for yourselves, and you have a bunch of random just inviting themselves? That's just weird. Even if this 18-year-old somehow feels like you're this close big brother, she doesn't just get to invite herself to something you and someone else has planned. I'd point blank tell everyone the answer is no. Not the idiot, obviously. You and your brother are adults with every right to plan a trip together. You are not obligated to invite everyone you know, related or otherwise. I'm commenting with a minor point, language matters. Do not ever refer to these kids as your step-siblings. Always refer to them as your parents' step-kids. Don't argue or deny, don't ever say she's not my stepsister since that's not going to be a win. But when replying to a parent the phrase you use is your stepdaughter and not my stepsister. This inserts a subtle distancing into the language of the conversation and reminds the parent that while they married into a package deal, you did not. Not the idiot, as far as I'm concerned, you are an adult living on your own. Your parents and step-siblings no longer have any control of what you do and when. They can't make you do things you don't want to do anymore just so they can have time away from the kids they decided to have. By the sounds of it, they made the later parts of your childhood absolutely trashy, and you don't owe them a single thing. I think your brother and his friends are right, you're saying that was long overdue. You haven't even been around them almost at all, and they have the audacity to ask you to take them on your trip. Back when I, 51M, was 16 I met a Mexican girl Ann in my school who was new and immigrated to the States. She was absolutely gorgeous and had a very distinctive look. We dated for 5 years, and I had always considered her the love of my life. We went to the same college together and always talked about getting married. Her family wasn't very keen on a white kid like me dating her. One day, she asks to meet me at a local park and tells me she has to skip town. I asked why and when I would see her. She acted like she couldn't talk long and just said she didn't know, but she was doing this for my safety. That was the last time I saw her. I moved on eventually, but I always thought of her. When Facebook became a thing, I tried to find her but never did. Eventually I got married to my wife, 50F, when we were in our early 40s. She already had 2 kids from a previous marriage who were both pre-teens at the time. I've provided for them, but they were never warm to me. I don't really begrudge them but I never felt appreciated with everything I sacrificed to provide. They are in their early 20s now. Fast forward to 6 months ago. A new girl, Beth, started at our office, and when I saw her, I was shocked. She was the spitting image of Anne. When I got the chance to talk to her privately, I asked if her mom's name was Anne. She said she honestly didn't know because she was adopted, but she had been hunting for her biological parents for years. She only had one photo to reference. I asked if I could see it. She said she would bring it in the next day. I kept this from my wife. I didn't want to say anything if I didn't 100%, and she is the jealous type and never liked hearing about Anne. The next day Beth brought the photo and it was Anne. I told her my story. We both came to the realization that she was old enough to potentially be my daughter. We planned to get a paternity test that week. I was hesitant to tell my wife because I suspected she would forbid it. Well, she's my daughter. 29 years later and I have a daughter. We were both overjoyed to have found one another, and she asked if we could start building a relationship. I came home that day and told my wife everything. She was livid. But not because I was keeping this from her, like what I thought she would be understandably upset over. My wife thinks I'd choose Anne and Beth over her. She doesn't want me to be in contact with a girl who isn't more of your child as much as our kids are to you. She feels that by building this relationship, I will see her kids as less of mine. I got mad and said that her kids are her kids, and I've been happy providing for them, but I am not their father. I am their stepfather, and sometimes I don't even feel they think that. She is forbidding me from this relationship, but I'm ready to die on this hill. Not the idiot. Trust me on this one. My mom has me when she was 16, didn't tell my biological father until I was 26. He had no clue, and when he found out, he was ecstatic. Told his wife and my half-siblings, 2 brothers and a sister, about me. It was weird and awkward because I'm his oldest now, but we haven't officially met in person. We live on opposite sides of the country. This may be something to talk to a family therapist about because it sounds like your wife needs some reassurance that you aren't going to up and abandon your family just because you found a lost member of it. Not the idiot. Would love to hear an update in the future. It does seem like for a majority of your life you have felt when Anne left, you had lost a part of you as well. Almost seems like some wacky sort of fate that has brought you your biological daughter from Anne. I would die on that hill too. Hope all goes well. Sounds like you could use some happiness in your life. Just remember to take things slow so things are comfortable for the both of you. If this is real, you have basically won the lottery. Like, what are the chances of this happening? Hopefully your wife comes around, but situations like this can be a little sticky. Wish you all the best, man. Good luck. You're not the idiot to want a relationship with your newfound daughter. Let's set aside whether this situation makes you or your wife happy and think about Beth. Your bio daughter has been looking for her parents and struggling to find the answers she's been seeking. Then by an astounding coincidence you two find each other. I'm sure your bio daughter is filled with so much excitement and happiness about all of this, and as we know from your story, she wants a relationship with you. I think after going to the lengths of asking to see the picture and getting a paternity test which confirms you're her father, if you decide not to be in her life because of your wife's selfishness and insecurities, that would make you an idiot and break poor Beth's heart. This just happened and I, 30F, am fuming. It's my husband's, 32M, birthday. I've been so excited for his birthday because we recently decided to get each other presents. Before we would acknowledge the day, but not officially give presents. So a week ago I asked him what he wanted, and he replied, I don't know. So one night, I saw an Instagram ad for a chiropractic clinic. It was a video of a deep tissue massage. I sent it to him like, hey, this looks cool, and he replied, wow, oh my god, I would give anything to have a massage. I've been needing one for so long. Then cue his I need a massage comments every day the next 3 days. So I decided to seek out a really good remedial massage therapist and book him a 1-hour massage that cost me $100. I was really happy with this gift. I thought he will appreciate it, and it's a useful gift. The next few days I kept telling him I got him something, and he kept asking what. I wanted to surprise him. He kept saying I don't like surprises. Just tell me in case it's something I don't want, but in my head I'm thinking you 100% want this, because he's been going on non-stop about how much he wants a massage. Well, how wrong I was. So it's the morning of his birthday, I'm so excited. I tell him I booked him a deep tissue massage for 6 p.m. and the following is our conversation. What, are you serious? Did you already pay for it? Yes, it's with this great therapist too. Well, I'm not going. I don't want it. I tell you to tell me what you got because I knew you'd do something like this. You'd get something I don't want. My mind is absolutely blown. I blacked out for a bit because all I've heard for days is how much he desperately needs a massage. But haven't you been saying for weeks how much you need a massage? Yes, but it doesn't mean I'll pay for one. You're not paying. I am. Well, you've wasted your money because I'm not going. I swear I'm not going. I don't want it. If I could put my anger and frustration into words right now. I feel absolutely blown away by what happened. He messaged me saying I've ruined the day because of getting him this gift. Am I the idiot? I think I might be the idiot for not telling him beforehand that I was planning to get him this. But aren't gifts meant to be surprises? I genuinely thought I hit the nail on the head for this one. I'm very frustrated and confused. Pro tip. When you purchase someone a massage, you give them a gift certificate and allow them to schedule it for when they want. If I found out I was booked for an appointment at 6 p.m. on my birthday, I would be really pissed off. I have to go work on my birthday, and now I don't even get to come home afterwards. Maybe I wanted dinner with my wife and kids, or to just relax, and now I won't be getting home until 7:30. If you had told him, when he asked you multiple times, maybe you would have found this out and been able to reschedule for a date he wanted. A very slight ESH. His reaction was out of line, but you just don't schedule something like that for someone on their birthday as a surprise. I'm gonna say no idiots here or ESH, it's a big misunderstanding that got blown up, to be honest. If he specifically said he doesn't like surprises and asked you to tell him, then that would have been the best thing to do. His reaction was way out of line, but it sounds like he has a bit of social anxiety, and massages can actually be really stressful. Coming from a very anxious person myself, a trip to the spa does more harm than good. Even if the massage is nice, it's not worth the nerves beforehand. He might have just panicked and not been mentally ready. But it kinda seems like we're missing something from the story here. Not the idiot, but I damn sure wouldn't go out of my way to buy more for someone who acted like a disappointed toddler with what I had already given them. What a massive idiot he is. Doesn't appreciate what you got him after saying multiple times it's something he wanted. Had the audacity to complain about the gift to your face, and then, when you went out to spend more on him, didn't appreciate that either? Oh, hell no. And how about the fact that you've only recently started giving gifts? So previously, all he did was say happy birthday. I don't think I could be with someone that refused to celebrate my milestones with me. Background: my mom and dad had 2 kids, my sister J, 16F, and I, 21F, before they got divorced. My mom since remarried a few years after and had my half little sister C, 7F. I was originally under her custody, but left due to toxic behavior from her and stepdad. J followed suit just this year. Recently she came into my dad's place and started arguing with J. I got woken up by the screaming and called the cops on her. She then turned to me and started yelling at me, which caused me to have a panic attack. Cops came and called for paramedics for me, and then my mom would start crying and apologizing to me. Since then, I've been prone to attacks like that and have been socially withdrawn, barely eating or sleeping. Jay also blocked her number and cut all contact with her. The story in question: I was just watching Netflix when I suddenly get a phone call from my mom's house. I found it weird since I didn't block her. When I picked up the phone, C was on the line. "Sis? Can you come home? I miss you." Sniffs. "C? What's wrong?" C starts crying on the phone. I felt my chest starting to tighten up. "Is mom there? Did she call me for you?" "Yes. Please come home. I'll be right there, okay? See you later." Hangs up. After that call I got super dizzy. My heart was pounding out my chest. I felt like I couldn't breathe and my ears were just ringing. My mom was living relatively close by, 5 or 10-minute walk, and I even puked halfway. When I got to her house, she greeted me excitedly, and C ran to the door to hug me. I tried being joyful in front of her and tried playing with her and her dolls, but I just kept spacing out. I just felt so numb and sick. I confronted my mom when C was taking a nap, and I couldn't help but snap at her. "What the hell was the call about? What do you mean? And do not use that tone on me. You could have just texted me to come by and visit C, or called me yourself. But no, you had to have C crying on the phone for me to come over. Then how else am I gonna get you to come? You wouldn't listen to me." I was seeing red. I felt like my mom just used C to get me to come back. I had a full-blown panic attack right then and there and blacked out. I woke up in the ER, and my dad told me that my mom called the ambulance. Later on, my mom texted me that C woke up and watched me get wheeled away. She then said that I was selfish and egotistical, that the call was not a big deal, and I didn't need to get so worked up on it, and that I scarred C. When I got back home, I overheard my stepdad yelling at my dad on the phone about how I was an idiot for lashing out at my mom and scaring his daughter like that. Some of my friends think Ida for talking to her that way and others think I'm not due to the toxic track record. So, am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Look, I'm going to be blunt. Your mother appears to be a narcissist who is now using poor C as her flying monkey to manipulate and control you. Your symptoms are symptoms of trauma, specifically PTSD. You will never be able to reason with your mother. She is only looking to get what she wants or needs from you. Anything you say will fall on deaf ears. C is a victim too, but there is nothing you can do about that. It is imperative for your mental well-being that you put yourself and your well-being first and strongly consider going full no contact with your mom and not get screwed into her manipulation again. Please consider a trauma therapist. They will help you learn ways to cope. Girl, I never comment on am I the idiot posts, but this one got me. Your body is literally shutting down, not just at interactions with your mother, but also at the mere prospect of seeing her. This is beyond anything that can be talked out or rationalized away. Your subconscious mind is blocking any possibility to allow this woman near you, and this is for good reason. I've literally read through dozens if not hundreds of posts about whether cutting contact or setting boundaries is an idiot move. This here goes above discussion. The decision has been made for you by your body and your subconscious mind. Trust them, please. Keep your distance. Not the idiot. Sweetheart, hope you don't mind me calling you that. As a mother myself with anxiety issues, you need to take care of yourself and cut contact with your mother. I know it'll be hard and you'll feel guilty because of your little sister, but you need to do what is best for you. That woman sent you to the hospital twice in an ambulance. That is not a good thing, and while you will feel guilty, just know that none of that is worth making yourself feel that way. Above all else, your mental and physical health take priority, even if your mother isn't above using your little sister against you.